Hey guys, for those of you who are probably going to leave a comment in the comment section asking where my sweater is, it is June in Tallahassee. It is over 100 degrees outside. I'm under a hot lamp right now so you guys can see me. And if I put on my usual sweater that I wear in my videos, I would burn alive. I would just catch fire like the Human Torch. And I don't think you guys need any further proof that it is hot as balls outside of this hot sliver of Tallahassee sun that is coming in through the skylight right now and burning through my wall and probably going to melt Martian Manhunter and the Flash. Martian Manhunter you probably can't see because it's so freaking bright. Alright, so excuse me for not wearing my usual attire. But hey, I'm wearing a Star Labs t-shirt, and I'm talking about a show that pertains to the DCW universe, so I thought that'd be appropriate. Man, it's hot. Good thing I got Mr. Spock to keep me cool. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get to actual content, alright? So a quick announcement before I start talking about Supergirl Season 3. I'm going to have to postpone my honest review of Batman Ninja by about a month. Next week, I am receiving an amazing opportunity to shoot some major portions of Blockbuster Buster Season 8. I cannot pass up this opportunity. It is content that I'm sure you guys will like. I can't pass it up, so I'm going to go ahead and take that opportunity, but because my schedule is so packed, in order to be able to shoot those Season 8 segments, I have to push something, and that something had to be the Batman Ninja Honest Review. Like I said, as soon as I can, I will get to it, and I will post it right here on my Patreon page for you guys. I appreciate your patience with me, but right now, just things are extremely difficult, and I have a limited amount of time to create content for the internet. So I had to make an executive decision, and I had to push the honest review of Batman Ninja. So there you go. So just please be patient. I promise I will finish it and post it on here, and you guys know that I keep my promises. So, let's talk about Supergirl Season 3. Man, it's hot. Alright, so, this was so close to being my favorite season of Supergirl. Why was it not my favorite season of Supergirl? I will get to that at the end of this video. For now, I want to talk about all the things that this season did incredibly well and why it was so close to being my favorite season of this show. For starters, I think Melissa Benoist has just nailed this character just perfectly. She started off great. I mean, it was never bad, but it's like every season she gets better. And I feel like this season she had even more confidence going into it. She had that magnificent moment during the crossover this year, Crisis on Earth X, where she called out Overgirl, and they did an homage to the scene from Superman 2 when Superman calls out General Zod, and he says, "General, would you care to step outside?" And Melissa Benoist, she has so much poise, so much presence on screen that when she performed that scene, she totally owned it. You totally believed it, and you 100% felt that she was worthy of Christopher Reeve's mantle. But at the same time, she's not afraid of being quirky and silly, and I love that too. My favorite silly moment this season was when the whole cast was singing karaoke, and of course she sang Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys, which is one of my all-time favorite songs from one of my all-time favorite albums, Hello Nasty. If I was stuck on a deserted island for the rest of my life and I could only listen to one album, that would be the one. And the fact that this amazing, gorgeous, kick-ass superhero that I love so much who has a beautiful voice, could have sang anything, decided to, bust out one of my all-time favorite raps. That was wonderful. So, major props to her. Rain, kick-ass villain. For the most part, what they did with Rain this season was what I was hoping they would do with Killer Frost on The Flash, but I feel that they handled the storyline a lot better in Supergirl. The villain who you just can't defeat her, you just can't kill her, because she is also, a friend of yours. It's an ally. It's not as simple as just knocking her out, killing her, throwing her in jail. Because it is also somebody that you care about and you want to protect. So I thought that that was handled a lot better here. Was it perfect? No. And once again, I will get to that at the end of this video. Something that I can't complain about right out of the gates, I feel that they completely wasted Livewire. I think she might have had 3 appearances on the show. Her first episode, which I'm really sure was titled Livewire. Her second appearance was during the Supergirl Flash crossover. And as great as Melissa Benoist and Grant Gustin are together, that episode was so dumb. It didn't utilize the villains very, very well. And then her third appearance, they kill her off, and that just sucked. So I was very disappointed with that. Love the inclusion of the Legion of Superheroes. Not a fan of those characters, but I thought they were used well here. I prefer this version of Mon-El, the brooding, sadder, bearded Mon-El, much better. And just in general, they applied the Joss Whedon's Buffy theory that Joss feels that Buffy the Vampire Slayer as a show was much better when Buffy was sad. Buffy sad, good show. Buffy happy, show shitty. And this season with Mon-El coming back and being married after he experienced in the time that he was actually gone. He traveled through time and was actually gone 5 years. From Supergirl's point of view, it's just a few months. But from his point of view, it was 5 years. He got married to a really gorgeous, badass woman who's seemingly perfect. And now Supergirl has to work with him to save the day. And it's annoying. It's annoying to have to work with your ex and to see that he's happy and he's married to this perfect person. So that I loved. And I thought Melissa played it well, as opposed to being the happy, bubbly Supergirl all the time, which is fine, but it wears thin after a while. So congratulations to this show for getting 23 episodes, just like Arrow and Flash. Supergirl has as many episodes as The Boys. However, it was painfully obvious they were not ready to produce that many episodes this year. Hopefully they will be ready for that next year. But this year, there were a few episodes that just were so obviously filler. And on top of that, there was one that was so painfully obviously filler that it hurt. And that was, of course, the third from the last episode, which was what was it called? Not Kansas? It was called Not Kansas. And it was the gun control episode, you know? And it was just so corny and dumb. And it was so brutal how they took such a weird-ass sidestep from the main storyline to do this anti-gun PSA. But hey, somebody's got to get the word out. Guns kill, I guess. So somebody had to do it. And Supergirl has a very big, young audience, so might as well. And I like the idea of the DEO using non-lethal weapons and futuristic tech to fight their enemies. That seems pretty interesting, but boy, that episode stunk. Oh my god. Anyway, so before I get to the end, one more little thing that I really like. They seriously cock-teased us by showing that Lena Luthor no longer trusts Supergirl, but Kara is cool. That's hilarious. She no longer trusts Supergirl, and her mom broke out the Lexo suit. She put on the Lexo suit, fought Supergirl. It only lasted a few seconds, but it was awesome. It was something that I've been wanting to see since this show started, since they introduced Lena Luthor. So, it's only a matter of time before Lena puts on the Lexo suit and they duke it out, and I cannot freaking wait. Alright, that's it. Let's talk about why this is not my favorite season of Supergirl, in spite of all the awesome shit in it. And quite simply is they dropped the ball at the end. They built this amazing storyline with this kick-ass villain, and it peaked right in the middle. Right in the mid-season finale, when Rain fights Supergirl for the first time and just beats the shit out of her and leaves her battered and bloodied in the middle of the street of National City. And that's as good as it got. And then we're like, okay, well, these episodes are kind of filler, and Rain keeps barely getting away, but they're going to make it up to us. In the end, the finale is going to be kick-ass because they've built this up so well. And the finale sucked. You know how I said that the finale of Black Lightning was weak? This wasn't weak, it just sucked, alright? It's like Rain killed her Supergirl's mother. She killed the woman that she is. I don't know her name. Her alter ego. She killed Mon-El. She killed all these characters that Supergirl cared about. And instead of owning that tragedy and seeing how Supergirl deals with that, the loss of her allies, the loss of the man that she loved, even though she didn't really date him for long, she just reverses time and beats the bad guy. Bad girl. So that was just dumb. It was the type of stuff that people complain about the Flash, but doesn't actually happen in the Flash, because Flash doesn't just reverse the timeline every time he makes a mistake. But when it happens, it's just very noticeable. So yeah, instead of owning the moment and owning those deaths, she reverses time and everything's hunky-dory. Now, they're teasing that this might lead to some repercussions, alright? But for now, this season was great all the way until that last episode, until Battles Lost and Won. And when they got to that episode and she beat the bad guy, but the bad guy murdered so many people that she liked, and she's like, okay, well, she did murder all these other people in National City, but because she murdered 3 people that I like, I'm going to reverse time. I'm going to go back in time and fix this. And even though they introduced the time travel early on in the episode with the Legion and all that, to me that was their subplot. And for Supergirl to use that to sort of save the day, it really felt like a Deus Ex Machina. It felt like it came out of nowhere, that she could use that to her advantage to travel back in time. And also, how did she travel to that exact moment? And why wasn't there a time duplicate of her when she arrived back at that moment? It doesn't make sense, and it was annoying and just poorly written. It just felt like they had a completely different ending plan and they just changed it last minute. So there you go. So let's talk about the things that they teased, which might happen next season, at least the 2 villains who might appear. They're teasing that Dark Supergirl, or Soviet Supergirl, or Russian Supergirl, there's no Soviet Union anymore, might be a villain this coming season. So that might be interesting. But the really interesting villain that they completely cock-teased us with during the season finale was Brainiac. That because they changed the future, and the plague doesn't take out most of humanity in the future that the Legion was trying to prevent, that it also spared the life of Brainiac. And Brainiac might be coming, put the city of Argo in one of his bottles, like shrink it and collect it. Do all those cool Brainiac things. Now, I know they're going to get a great actor to play him. They've never slouched with the villains in any of these shows. The villains have always been great. But my vote to play Brainiac in Supergirl Season 4 is Jeffrey Combs. I'm not a huge video game fan. I've never actually played Injustice 2, but somebody sent me, all the cutscenes edited together as one big Injustice 2 movie, and Jeffrey Combs killed it as Brainiac in that game, and I would love to see him play him live action. He would do such a magnificent job. He's one of my favorite actors. So here's to hoping. I know that whoever they choose, it'll be great, one way or another. So there you go. Those are my thoughts and feelings on Supergirl Season 3. Agree? Disagree? Feel free to say so in the comment section below. But as per usual, don't fight each other. We're all on the same team, alright? Thank you so much, guys, for your continued support. We're making Season 8 happen, and because of your help, I am gonna give you one amazing 300th episode. So thank you so much, and I plan to show you that gratitude by delivering one of the biggest, most elaborate, silliest, goofiest, most kick-ass episodes I have ever made. And it will all be due to you, because I could not do what I do without you. Damn, it's hot!